Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. The Knicks, after a long day for some in the organization, had to play the Orlando Magic tonight. And guess what? They pulled off a win after trading their best player, the guy that can get it done down the stretch. The Knicks managed to get a win, ladies and gentlemen. Good win it was. Let's take a look at what the Knicks did tonight at home versus the Orlando Magic. Let's go.
That's the G.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, after the Knicks had a lot of news today, first you heard the supposed hiring of Leon Rose, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. Then Marcus Morris was traded to the Los Angeles Clippers for Mo Harkless in a 2020 first-round draft pick. And also a second-round draft pick. And a right to swap with the Los Angeles Clippers for the 2021 first-round draft pick. Now, after all that, the players had to play. And played they did. They played hard tonight, ladies and gentlemen. You see the score right now, 6-4. As Elfrid Payton goes to the basket and lays it in. It's now 10-4 Knicks. Orlando Magic with the steal. They're on the break, on the go. And then there you go right there. Markelle Fultz puts that one in. Julius Randle, top of the key. Knicks up 10-6. He spins, puts it in. Julius Randle, it's on you now, brother. Marcus Morris ain't here. What you going to do with it? Markelle Fultz to the cup again. Remember Markelle Fultz, ladies and gentlemen. Markelle Fultz. Fultz was drafted by the 76ers. He was supposed to be a franchise-changing guard. As you see, Taj Gibson dunked that one home. It's 18-11 Knicks. Supposed to be a franchise-changing guard, but he had some issues with his shoulder and all kinds of stuff. Anyways, in Orlando, and he's doing okay. Vucevic knocks that one down. It's 18-14 Orlando. Elfrid Payton. What my man City for Real likes to call him, the Elf of Wall Street. He went to work today. We're going to talk about what Elfrid Payton did today because he went to work. 20-14, the Knicks are up. 22-14, Knicks are up. Vucevic to the basket, misses. Dennis Smith Jr., he's trying to reclaim his career with the Knicks. Finds Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson with the alley-oop dunk. Mitchell Robinson, though, had a so-so night. He had 6 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 block shot. Hadn't had a block in a while. Got one tonight, though. Dennis Smith Jr. trying to guard. Wasn't able to get a steal there. Kind of lost my thought for a second. Knicks up 10 anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks are up 10. And Michael Carter-Williams comes up the floor, kicks it out. Magic knocked down the 3, 26-19. Dennis Smith Jr. top of the keep, screen from Julius Randle. Julius Randle pulls it up from the free throw line and knocks it down. Julius Randle had 22 points and 8 rebounds tonight, along with 4 assists. He was efficient from the field, 10 for 16, and he only took 1 3-point shot. He missed it, didn't take any more. Bobby Portis, he lays that one in, 30-23 Knicks. Bobby Portis played 17 minutes. He had 4 points. 33-25. See, Dennis Smith Jr. finds Bobby Portis one more time. Bobby Portis, one more time. Spins. Misses. But Taj Gibson looked like a younger Taj Gibson. Maybe not. Let me stop lying to you. Taj Gibson played well tonight, but a lot of his buckets came from people finding him. You know, good penetration by Elfrid Payton. Couple of times, Taj Gibson had a couple of buckets. You know what I mean? But Elfrid Payton hooked him up tonight. He hooked him up tonight, and then you see Markelle Fultz gets the pass and lays it in. Markelle Fultz on the night, ladies and gentlemen, had 16 points, 6 assists. He also had 4 rebounds. 44-37, the Knicks are up. And then R.J. Barrett was back in action, ladies and gentlemen. He played 18 minutes, came off the bench tonight. He had 12 points. Taj Gibson, he knocks one home, bounces it in. A little cliffhanger as the ball hung on the rim. Vucevic in the post against Taj Gibson, 50-42 Knicks. Vucevic gets that one to go. Out on the perimeter, Orlando trying to make this run and come back. Fournier goes to the cup, followed up by none other than Vucevic. 50-47, and then R.J. Barrett to the cup. You see Vucevic. Vucevic got mad on that. They didn't show it in the clip. Vucevic got mad and slapped the backboard, and R.J. Barrett tried to get a technical foul on that one. Back to Aaron Gordon for the dunk. Aaron Gordon on the night had 16 points, 4 assists. 56-49. It was top of the third. Markelle Fultz, dribble in the lane, pulls it up, knocks it down. You know, a fixed jump shot. You know, his jump shot is okay when he pulls it up off the dribble. It's when he's standing still that it doesn't look okay. Julius Randle, he knocks down the pull-up jump shot. Again, Julius Randle had 22 points on the night. Looked pretty good. Yeah, a couple of defensive lapses, though, Julius Randle did. You know, as part of the course. Julius Randle finds Reggie Bullock cutting along the baseline. Reggie Bullock on the night. He had 12 points, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds. And look, the Knicks are going to have to find certain things. They're going to have to play the type of offense where the ball is spread around. And they did that well tonight. 63-57. You see Julius Randle found Taj Gibson, but Aaron Gordon comes back down and knocks down a triple. Make it 63-60. Elfrid Payton, he lays it in. He was a maestro tonight. Weaving and slicing and dicing, moving and maneuvering. He was doing his thing. Markelle Fultz, he gets in the paint. Dribble, finds Vucevic. 65-64 right now. And Orlando is on the way back, ladies and gentlemen. In the post, Aaron Gordon, he fades away, knocks that one down. Again, 16 points and 4 rebounds for Aaron Gordon. 66-65. Orlando finally takes the lead as Elfrid Payton finds Julius Randle down the lane for the big dunk. The game is tied at 67 with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Elfrid Payton again to the cup, lays it in. Elfrid Payton had a lot of those little lay-ins tonight. He went to work tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Elfrid Payton on the night, he had 15 points. He had 9 assists and 7 steals. He also had 4 rebounds. Elfrid Payton was working tonight. I'd love to see Elfrid Payton be able to do this more often. I'm not saying he's going to get 7 steals every night, but he was balling tonight. Again, down the lane. And in this third quarter, ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks defense became a real Swiss cheese, became real soft. 72-72, as you see the backdoor cut by Terrence Ross for the nice dunk. Kevin Knox, get your defensive IQ up, bro. You got to get these defensive fundamentals together. You want to stay on the floor. Julius Randle to the cup. He lays it in to tie the game at 74. 81-76 as the Orlando Magic extend the lead a little bit. Then they extend it one more time. It's a 7-point game. At the top of the fourth quarter, Evan Fournier, he knocks down a triple. Now it's a 10-point game, and you start to feel like, will the Knicks be able to settle this down? Excuse me. Will the Knicks be able to settle it down? Will they be able to get it together? Wasn't quite sure. 88-80 in the lane. Orlando goes back up 10. It's 90-80 now. Reggie Bullock, he gets the ball on the baseline. He finds Wayne Ellington. Wayne Ellington struck gold off the bench, ladies and gentlemen. He knocks down that 3. Bobby Portis goes to the cup, kicks it out to Wayne Ellington. Wayne Ellington knocks down another 3. You make it 90-86. Now it's 94-88. And Wayne Ellington knocks down another 3. This is what they brought him here for, folks. They brought Wayne Ellington here to be a 3-point shooter. He hasn't been up to this point of the season, but he was tonight. As Aaron Gordon gets a dunk on a fast break to put the Orlando Magic up 3. 96-93. Reggie Bullock, he misses, follows his old miss, gets the little putback, follows that, finds Elfrid Payton. And listen, when Reggie Bullock kicked that out to Elfrid Payton, I was like, no, don't shoot it. But he shot it and made it, so I was glad. And then Julius Randle knocked that one down to give the Knicks the lead back. It's 100-96 now. In Orlando, they're trying to stay in it. It's 100-98. Orlando Magic is trying to stay in it, but let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks, they wanted this one. Reggie Bullock, he knocks one down to make it 103 now. It's now 103-98. The Knicks up by 5. And Julius Randle knocks down a big one there to put the Knicks up 7. Aaron Gordon kicks the ball out to Vucevic. Vucevic knocks down the 3. to make it 105-101. And you start to wonder, can the Knicks hold on? And you see the shot by Markelle Fultz makes it 105-103. But then here, right there down the stretch, you're going to see Evan Fournier turn it over. And the Magic coach, Steve Clifford, was hot, ladies and gentlemen. He thought that Fournier got fouled. When he looked at the replay, he didn't get fouled. He just slipped, trying to avoid the defense. He slipped, he fell, he didn't get fouled. All right, so, let's not argue about that, anybody. Good game by the New York Knicks, man. Let's take a look at the matchups here. The Orlando Magic shot 45.3% from the field. They shot 29% from three and 86.7% from the free throw line. The Knicks, they were 46.7% from the field, 30% from three, and 68.4% from the free throw line. All right, neither team really rebounded that much. I don't know why they didn't rebound that much. Both teams had 39 rebounds. The Knicks had 27 assists tonight. The Orlando Magic had 22. 12 steals for the Knicks. 7 of those steals came from Elfrid Payton. 8 steals for the Orlando Magic. 5 blocks for the New York Knicks. 9 blocks for the Orlando Magic. And only 13 turnovers for the Knicks. Very good game. The Knicks' biggest lead was 13 tonight. The Orlando Magic's biggest lead was 10. And I will say, in my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, that this was really a good game for the New York Knicks. This is one of the more fun games, one of the better games that the Knicks have had, in my opinion, and being able to pull out a close game down the stretch. They've done it, of course. They've done it with Marcus Morris here. All right. Well, Marcus Morris wasn't here tonight, to assist in bringing home this win. And the Knicks were able to do it anyway. So a big shout out to the Knicks for being able to bring home the win tonight without their leader, Marcus Morris, on the floor. All right, so let's take a look at some of the box scores, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Reggie Bullock tonight, he had 12 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. Julius Randle led the team in scoring with 22 points. He had 8 rebounds and 4 assists. Taj Gibson had a throwback night. He had 19 points and 5 rebounds. Frank Ntilikina had 2 points. He started at the shooting guard spot, a placeholder until R.J. Barrett reclaims his spot. Elfrid Payton tonight had 15 points, 7 steals, 9 assists, and 4 rebounds. R.J. Barrett came off the bench, returning from an ankle injury. He played 18 minutes. He had 12 points, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds. Mitchell Robinson, he had 6 points and 4 rebounds and 1 block. Dennis Smith Jr. had 1 point on the night. Kevin Knox, he didn't have any points. Bobby Portis had 4 points. Wayne Ellington had 12 points tonight. He was 4 for 6 from the 3-point line. 4 for 6 from the arc. Let me say that. Wayne Ellington was 4 for 6 from the arc. Kadeem Allen, Ignaz Brazdeikis did not play. Damian Dotson and Alonzo Trier were both out with an illness tonight. I guess the flu went around the Knicks locker room. For the Orlando Magic, King Birch, he had 2 points, played 12 minutes. Aaron Gordon had 16 points, 4 rebounds. Nikolai Vucevic, he had 25 points and 8 rebounds. Evan Fournier had 16 points, and Markelle Fultz had 16 points, 6 assists, and 4 rebounds. Terrence Ross had 10 points. Windu, he had 2 points. Michael Carter-Williams had 7 points, 4 assists. Mo Bamba had 6 points, 2 blocks. He also had 4 rebounds. Gary Clark, he had 3 points, and B.J. Johnson did not play. All right, ladies and gentlemen. That's the recap of the game. That's what happened tonight. The Knicks pull out a victory versus the Orlando Magic. The day of the deadline. After surpassing the deadline, the Knicks pull out a victory. Let's get to some guys that's in our video chat. You knew Alpha Wall Street was going to be here. We got Isaiah. We got Guillermo. We got Kev. So we got the whole crew here tonight to talk about the Knicks win. The Knicks big win, man. So I want to get these guys to help me break it down. See what they saw tonight and what's it going to look like with Marcus Morris no longer here. What's going to happen? What's it going to look like? That's what I want to know from these guys here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you a chance to call in. Not just yet. We're going to talk to the guys in the video chat. But when you do call in, 516-405-2246. We'll talk to you too. I want to find out what you think. And guess what? If you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell. You'll be notified anytime I go live, drop a video, or post in my community section. All right? So let's get through and talk about some analysis and reactions and break this game down. And then, of course, we're going to get to it. Right? You already know we're going to get to it. We're going to talk about the trade deadline. All right? We are going to break down the trade deadline, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go ahead and let's get to this. All right? Guillermo, what's going on with you, bro?
Son? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How you feeling?
This is a weird win, man. Like I want to feel good about it, but they say Trier was sick. They said Knox was out. I mean, not Knox. Dotson was out. I just want to see the young guys kind of play more. But I mean, if they were truly sick, I get it. But overall, look, I mean, their guys had some solid games. That first half, I texted you. I said the defense looked ridiculously good. I mean, look, it's the Magic. I think they were one of the worst scoring teams in the NBA or something like that. But obviously, look, it was a decent game. Randall played really well. Payne played really well. He was almost on pace for 20 steals in the first half. I don't know what was in that. I don't know what they were drinking or whatever they were doing in the first half, but that looked absurd, man. I liked how they hounded Markelle Fultz. I still don't think that guy's 100% healthy, but it is what it is. A few downers, man. Kevin Knox, Lord Jesus. I mean, I'm not even talking about offense because he did pull one move that I like, which was like a step back fadeaway, but it missed. And, he has to start taking more shots like that. So, but on defense, man, there was that one play where Terrence Ross had the backdoor cut on him. And the thing about, and I'm talking to James Sanchez in the chat, and the thing with Knox is that James Sanchez said that he's slow-footed, fine, right? And not that James Sanchez is arguing for Knox or making an excuse for him. He's not at all. The thing with Knox is that if you know you're slow-footed, you need better anticipation and timing. You need better positioning when you defend guys. If you know you can't recover, don't play them like you're Patrick Beverley. Don't play them like you're Tony Allen. Don't play them like you're quick to recover because you can't recover. You know what I mean? It's like I just wish so. I don't know what they're doing, but he really needs to.
I think more on that play too was not even about his foot speed. I mean, clearly positioning is key, right? You never position yourself where the defender is. You always position yourself where you have one foot on the basket side of the defender, right? So you have the defender kind of in the middle of your body. You always position yourself. But then also, you cannot ball watch. Right? So if you're playing off the ball, you're defending someone, and the ball is right there. You can't watch the ball. You got to have an eye on your defender and an eye on what's happening with the ball as well.
Peripherals. That's all it is. It's usually peripherals.
Right. You position yourself so that his feet are in between your feet. Right. So that way, because if his foot is on the outside of your foot, then he's gonna have the edge going back door on you every single time. You always have both of the defender's feet in the middle of your feet.
And right? Look how he even played that play, right? That's what I understand about some of these guys. And it's not just Knox. It's on the Knicks, period, because I've seen a lot of backdoor cuts from the baseline. The baseline is your friend. I learned that from high school, and bruh, my high school team was garbaggio. But at least my coach said, look.
Yeah, I mean, I know. I mean, I get it. But it's different times in high school today.
No. There's still fundamentals that you can use. Because I've even heard Walt Clyde Frazier say the same thing, too. When you're defending somebody on the baseline, especially if they can't shoot. Now, obviously, Terrence Ross can shoot, right? But if you know Terrence Ross can shoot, right? On those plays, sometimes you can switch whatever, right? I know people all fight. Sometimes plays you can switch, some plays you don't have. A guy like Terrence Ross, if you saw it tonight, he likes to use those picks to come around and shoot. He does that. And he can shoot. He's a natural shooter. He's a pure shooter or a good shooter. When you're playing like that with the baseline, right? You cut off the baseline and force him to come around. You force him to take that pass, and maybe you could pick him up. Because it's not like Terrence Ross is he's not J.R. Smith. Oh, J.R. Smith, he could beat you to the basket and shoot off. He's not that. He could ball, don't get me wrong. But he's not crazy. He's going to take off the dribble and kill you, right? So you can reset. You can switch. Just play the even highest positions, almost like there was no, he didn't realize there's a baseline there to help him where if I close my stance and now I got to force him to play inside, his only option is inside. So even if I'm slow of foot and I can't recover, He ain't beat me back there because he has to go out of bounds. You know what I mean?
No,
So it's just
I get it. I get it. I mean, I'm just saying, like you say, you learn it in high school. High school is very different today, especially on a really high level than it just was back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Some of the high schools that these guys go to, they're just collecting talent and putting them on the floor. There's not that much positional type coaching going on and those type of little things.
That's 1,000%. That's I give you that, and
tough.
that's a very disgusting, sad reality because
it is.
That should even be. That's even little league stuff, and I don't even want to think about the lack of coaching where they're probably, excuse my language, but pimping out these kids, even at 7th, 8th, or 8th grade when they're in 6th grade, 5th grade, they're already scouting these kids. Because I'm looking, when you watch this Knicks team, right, especially in the second half, right. Certain things where it's like, all right, the team sometimes, like even the Magic in the first half, they were missing shots where they're open, right? And if you talk about reversion to the mean, obviously a team that shoots, if a team shoots 40% from the field, right, total, average, and they're shooting, say, 20% in the first half, you could probably expect 9 times or however many times out of 10, they're going to revert back to the mean and probably shoot better in the second half, unless everyone's just like throwing up and they're injured or some weirdness like that, right? So there are a lot of shots that the Magic were missing in the first half where it's like, well, look, yeah, the Knicks, that may look good on defense because it's just they're not scoring, the field goal percentage looks down, but these are open shots that the Knicks aren't closing out on. And in the second half, there's certain things like Terrence Ross coming around picks. You know what I mean? Vucevic. Now, I saw where Vucevic sometimes come down a little bit and they kind of clear it out. You saw, or maybe it's someone got on the perimeter, they came in, try to help out a little bit. I saw a little bit more of that, which is smart because Vucevic, for some reason, he's a Knick killer. I don't know what this guy is on, but he kills all the time. Even though Taj Gibson had a good game tonight on him offensively, I liked it was beautiful. But Vucevic, for some reason, just kills us. But it's just certain things on offense, getting back on defense, perimeter, using the baseline, learning your players, learning who your players. Now, the only guy that I thought they played really good on, for the most part, was Fultz. Like, they confound that guy. They didn't allow him any space. They know he's not going to shoot. You know what I mean? But they still kind of hound him. So I was really proud about that. But it's just certain things. And look, look, put it like this. If Trier doesn't play in the second half, because you're seeing guys like Ellington. I know Ellington had a really good game tonight in terms of what he had, like 3 threes, 3 plus threes, whatever. But I got to see the young kids play because, certain guys like Portis, I know Portis had a terrible game. I might just get him by the game, but there's certain guys who's like, I got to see the youth play. Obviously, RJ Barrett's come back from injury. I'm not saying he should have played 30 minutes or whatever. But, so this second half, man, it has to be more about developing these younger guys, man. These younger guys who we know for a fact that most likely going to be here or we want to resign and keep going forward.
Yeah, well, and maybe they are playing the guys that they expect that they're going to sign and keep going forward. When you're talking about the younger guys, right? Frank Ntilikina, he could have played more minutes tonight. He did start at that guard spot. He could have played more minutes. RJ Barrett, Mitchell Robinson, Dennis Smith Jr. played. Kevin Knox played. Iggy didn't play. Right, so we got to see. Hopefully we'll get a chance to start seeing Iggy. And then we'll see what happens when Alonzo Trent and Damian Dotson get back. We'll see. The thing is, we don't know which guys they really want to keep because we don't know who the front office is. Right? Let me get to City for real. I know you got some things you want to say. City, what's going on, man?
Yo, what's going on, Sim?
I'm good. All right, your boy, he played well again tonight. And he's been playing well the past few games. He did his thing tonight. You got to give it to him. Elfrid Payton tonight, ladies and gentlemen, 15 points, 7 steals, and 9 assists.
Yeah, man. Sim, you already know, man, that's my guy, the Elf of Wall Street. That's what I call him. Everybody knows that. But, he had a good game. He had a couple of good games in a row. Let's just say that. It's not just tonight. But, I just want to say, everybody, I get it. Like, we want the young guys to play, but at the same time, the young guys cannot play, the whole game. So, of course, you're going to see glimpses of the vets that we have because you can't keep those guys in and have them play, the whole game. We had a couple of guys that was sick and out tonight or whatever. So, we got to pump the brakes and just let it flow. You know what I mean? And I don't want to harp on Knox too much because he had a bad game tonight. He had a couple of bad games in a row. But tonight he had a bad game. He had one play that he got crossed up on defense. But you know what? Guess what? We talking about the NBA league. And guess what? Not only Knox, but I can call out 40, 50 other players that gotten beat backdoor before. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's something, it's just something that happens, and it happens frequently. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it happens all of the time. Players always get beat backdoor. So I ain't gonna beat him up about that. He was off on the shooting tonight or whatever. But again, the kid is young. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when our young kids make mistakes, we can't harp on them too much because they're young, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let them get more acclimated to the game. Give them a couple of more years, and then you can say, you know, after 4 or 5 years, you know, and you say, oh, you got beat backdoor. Okay, bro, now it's time to harp on you because you should know this. But like, you know, we got to give these guys time, man. Everybody got to give these guys time. Of course, we're going to see glimpses of the veterans because the young guys, they cannot play the whole game. Like, you know what I mean? And as far as Morris goes, you know what I like, Sim? Me personally, Sim, I feel like this, right? Morris, excuse my French, but he bust
before
his
you
eight
get
for us.
before you get to that, City, there's one thing I want to do. I'm gonna show you the best backdoor moment of all time, in my opinion, ladies and gentlemen. And some of you guys have seen this, and you're gonna remember this. This right here is the best. You know, City for Real was just talking about guys getting beat backdoor. This is the best backdoor moment ever. Otto Porter, ladies and gentlemen, just watch. It's hilarious.
Well,
Here you go.
I don't even know what. Cool.
Otto Porter.
Oh man.
Oh, where'd he go?
Oh
yeah,
man.
I mean, look, here you go.
Yeah. Sim.
He's gone. Otto Porter. Whoa, where is he? Hilarious, man.
Oh,
That was just that was hilarious. That had to be the best backdoor moment ever.
That's always gonna go down as classic, Sim. But let me finish this up real quick, Sim, and then because I know you got to go to everybody else. But what I wanted to say is, Morris, excuse my French, he busts his you know what for us. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like we did right by him by sending him to a contender. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, he came out, he showed out with us, and he handled his business. And so therefore, with that being said, we sent them off to somebody to where right now he could possibly win a chip, and that was from his hard work. Let's just say he came to us and he was stinking it up or whatever. Guess what? The Clippers wanted to sign him.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So he put in that hard work, and it got him to the point to where now he's potentially able to win a chip. So, like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like the front office did a good job with the trade as far as, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, giving the respect back to a player that we had, you know?
Yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you. Yeah, Marcus Morris gone. We're gonna get to that. Let me get to these other guys with some of their initial reactions and analysis. All right, and then we'll get going. Isaiah, I got you, man. You ain't gotta wave me. You know what? I'm going to Kevin. I'm going to Kevin. You ain't gotta wave me down like that, man. Kev, what's going on, man? You're gonna wave me down like the kid in school that thinks he knows all the answers. Go ahead, Kev. What's going on, man?
Hey, man, how you feeling? How you feeling, Sam?
I feel good, bro. I feel good.
Yeah, man, it was good. It was a good win. I'm just getting on, and I don't know if you and Gilmore were talking about Kevin Knox. I'm really worried about him defensively, and when Clyde says your best defense can be your best offense, well, I think that's affecting both of Kevin Knox's game, man. Because there was times where he was getting destroyed by Ross. That was sickening. And when you think about it, that was kind of like the turning point of the game. When he got in, that's when they went on their run. And then when he was taken out, that's when we got the lead back, man.
Well, what Kevin Knox is confidence. I just seen somebody say it in the chat too. It's confidence, man. Confidence and basketball IQ. He has the basketball IQ of a young guy. That's clear, right? Especially on the defensive side. Just of a young guy, and he's got to learn. He's got to learn positioning. He's got to understand not to turn his head towards, to ball watch and not see your defender. All those type of things he's got to learn it. You would hope that, he came to the NBA with it, but clearly he did not come to the NBA with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. And something to think about it also is when you look at him and you look at the pick that that Phoenix did with getting Mikal Bridges, every time you're trying to defend Knox, for us picking him, this right here happens. And I agree with you
the only
with it being a confidence thing. I don't know. I think it has a lot to do with what happened in the beginning of the season, even in the summertime when Fizdale said that everybody's going to have to earn their minutes. And
well, let me ask you this: how old is Mikal Bridges?
I don't know. And that was my next question. Was he a 3-year or 4-year college student?
I think he was. I think he was. So right. And so when you look at the difference there, right? And I'm not trying to make excuses for Kevin Knox, because he's got to take it upon himself to understand. He's got to take it upon himself to understand his weaknesses, his strengths, and work on them and get better. But when you compare him to someone like Mikal Bridges, who probably had 3 years in college?
Yeah.
Right? 3 years of tutelage. He's 23 years old right now, so maybe he had 2 years. I'm looking to see what it is, what year he was when he was drafted. But that means a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing about it also is, you look at somebody like Trier that we have. He was in college for 4 years, but he can't even get off the slide, off the bench and everything. I think tonight would have been a great opportunity for Trier. But back to Knox, let me ask you this. With defense, is that something that can be taught, or do you have to have that instinct?
It depends on what it is. I think it can be taught. You know what I mean? You can teach certain things, and it takes work though. You've got to. A lot of defense is about. People think it's all about heart and those type of things. It's not. Defense is as a matter of fact, sometimes there's way more strategy in defense than there is on offense. You know what I mean? Now, you can always teach it. You can always play good defense. A lot of it is effort, right? Just, if your man is beating you, making sure, you get back to get in front of your man, getting a defensive rebound, those type of things, boxing out. A lot of it is that. But also good positioning, understanding how to position your feet, understanding the strengths and the weaknesses of the person that you're defending. You know what I'm saying? And then also having the coaches there to say, hey, this person likes to do this person likes to do that. Make sure that you funnel this person to the right. Make sure that you funnel this person to the left. Make sure you watch for the step back jump shot. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you watch for the hard dribble with the left, fake, and then back to the left. Those type of things come from coaching. You know what I'm saying? It also comes from players looking at film and understanding who they're playing and who they're defending, what's their assignment, what's their defensive assignment, and those type of things. And then those players got to go out and they got to execute it. So there is a lot of strategy that goes into defense. You know what I'm saying? And it takes some time.
Okay. So with that being said, what you just said, which I totally 1,000% agree with, is that something in the summertime, in the off season, is that something that can be taught to him? or is that something that unfortunately he has to wait until, I guess, is that something that has to be learned out through the year?
Well, I
You get what
think,
I'm saying?
I mean, I think there are certain things that you can teach. You can teach,
This is definitely
obviously,
one
you
of
can teach
Desmond's
defensive footwork,
destinations.
right?
Desmond is
Sorry about that. Obviously, you can teach defensive footwork. You can work on defensive footwork. You can work on, like with my girls, we did a lot of work in the beginning of the season, and we still do it when we have practices on just step slide, right? Or we call it a push step. A lot of people call it a slide. We call it a push step because we don't want you sliding your feet on the floor. We actually want you lifting your feet in the air a little bit, right? We work on that push step. So we work on, just like a player works on their first step exploding to the basket, we do the same thing with defense. We work on our first step to defend the person that's getting ready to go to the basket. We work on how do you take angles. A lot of players, when they're defending somebody and they're going to cut that person off, if a person is driving right and a player goes to the defense, when they go right where that person is going, instead of taking an angle to get in front of that person, sometimes they slide right towards the person. And when you slide right towards the person, that person goes around you. So it's not the matter of that person can't play defense. They're just taking a wrong angle. Sometimes you have a player speeding up the sideline, and you'll have the defender, instead of trying to take an angle to get in front of that player, they go towards the player. So now that player still gets to the sideline. So, there's so many things like that can be taught. How to take angles, right? How to position your feet. You know what I mean?
Right.
How to keep a hand on the player's jersey so that you know where they are. There's so many little things that can be taught, and you can teach them to players, and you can drill it, and you can practice it. Then they got to play in order to implement it. They can play in the summertime. Of course, they can play during the regular season so that they can implement those things. And then it's important. The film study is really important that you point out and you show them, hey, look at here. You didn't have your feet in this direction. You didn't have your feet in that direction. That's the reason why they went back door. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I think those things can be taught.
Okay. So now, all right, so what you just said, so the next day at practice, because their next game is against Washington. So at practice, the coaching staff will be, you would hope, will be showing him what he did against Ross and how to avoid those mistakes.
Right.
Correct?
Correct. That would be the hope, right? That the coaching staff is trying to show him, here, look at what you did. This is the reason why he went back door and was able to get that dunk.
Yeah, exactly. And also, how he was able to, I guess Russ was able to use the picks and he was able to get some of those shots off. And, with Knox being late, getting to him and everything. So, I mean, again, everything changed once Knox went out the game. They were up 10 on us, and we got back in the game and was able to take the lead. And, I just think he needs a lot of work on his defense. And
yeah, well, listen, and we knew that, we knew that. I think that the Knicks knew that coming into this season, because I remember last year, and of course the Knicks defense was putrid last year, right? But I remember last year looking at, individual player defensive ratings, and he was like almost last in the league.
Okay.
Almost last in the league, right? Yeah. And, when that's just, that's just not good. Now,
yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna show this play real quick.
As well, Sam.
Huh?
I think it's also coaching as well too, because you talk about us last year being putrid. I blame a lot of that on Fizdale's coaching staff as well. Because you look at it now. Mike Miller is about to pass him as far as wins are concerned.
Right. So I want you to, if you can, right, look at the video, because I want to show that Knox video real quick. All right, and just take a look at exactly what happened. All right, so I got it up on the screen now, and you're gonna be able to see. You can see Knox right now being guarding Terrence Ross. Right. All right. And let me get this a little bit bigger. So automatically, I want to show you this, and you can see, hopefully you can see my mouse on the screen. All right. Let's look at the positioning. This is what I was talking about before when I said that you want to have the defensive person's feet in the middle of your body. Look at where Kevin Knox's feet are. You can see my mouse on the screen right now. Kevin Knox's feet are here. Behind Kevin Knox is Terrence Ross's foot over here. You can't see it because there's a fan there. Right? But you can see Terrence Ross's foot behind Kevin Knox's foot. This automatically gives Terrence Ross a lane to the basket. Okay? Automatically gives that lane to the basket. If he was a little bit further up, he'd have that backdoor cut because his positioning is not really that good. Now, they're so far down deep, you know, the baseline is right there. But this is what happens. Terrence Ross takes a jab step this way, and Kevin Knox goes to defend high.
Yep.
Right? He's going to go and try to deny it, and then Terrence Ross goes backdoor. All right, and
yeah,
if Kevin Knox has his feet here, when he goes, he can't take that jab step. See, Terrence Ross is recognizing right now where Kevin Knox's feet are positioned. Right. That's why he knows he can take that jab step because he's going to overplay that he can go backdoor. If Kevin Knox is takes one step backwards, only thing Terrence Ross can do is try to cut this way to get the ball. Right? So I'm going to play it, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Boom. Real easy, and bam, he's gone. He took that jab step, Kevin Knox jumped, and he's gone.
Yep.
Right? Kevin Knox could have been a little bit closer. He could have had his hand touching his hip, touching his jersey, touching his arm, whatever it is, so that he could see where he was. But because Kevin Knox was ball watching, right? You can go back a second, right? You see it. Let me go back, right? You look at it here. Come back. It's going to come back down as Aaron Gordon runs up the court. Okay, Kevin Knox, he's ball watching. He's ball watching, right? And then boom, real quick, back, and then there you go, and it's a dunk. You know what I'm saying? It's all about positioning, man. Yeah. You know, it's about positioning. He knows that he tries to run, fly down the floor, and us as the way that we are, we're walking to get the ball out of bounds because we're upset that someone just got dunked on. That they just dunked on us. We could have got the ball out of bounds quicker and tried to get up the floor, but that's another story altogether. But that's
absolutely.
What we're talking about when we break down positioning.
And here's another story. I think Mitchell Robinson, has to work on his positioning as well too, because there were a couple of times where he got beat as well, and
some things we got to work on, man. Definitely.
Yep.
Without a doubt. All right, man. All right. Well, before I don't know how much we can really break down the game. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some people here that want to talk about the game a little bit, but I'm going to move on. We're going to talk about some trades and kind of break down the trade stuff. And if you want to go back and get a point or two in about the game, that's fine. All right. My player of the game tonight, of course, is Elfrid Payton, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Elfrid Payton is my player of the game. Elfrid Payton had a really good game tonight. He had 15 points, 9 assists, 7 steals. He was 7 for 13 from the field. And most of all, he was the leader on the floor. He was the leader out there on the floor. You know what I mean? He did a great job orchestrating, being the maestro, breaking down the defense, getting inside, using his body to ward off the defender and those type of things. Elfrid Payton played a great game tonight, ladies and gentlemen. He is my player of the game. 15 points, 9 assists, 7 steals, 7 for 13 from the field, and he was definitely the leader on the floor. All right, so big up to Elfrid Payton for being the player of the game. All right, so now, I just did the player of the game, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, that's Elfrid Payton. I just did the player of the game. Let's move on and let's talk about the trade deadline. Let's wrap up the trade deadline. Obviously, the New York Knicks traded Marcus Morris today to the Los Angeles Clippers. Right, they got back Mo Harkless. They got back a 2020 first-round draft pick from the Los Angeles Clippers. They got back a future second rounder. I think maybe it's 2023 from the Washington Wizards, I think it is. And we also got a player. All right, we also got a player out of this. We got Issouf Senon. Probably said it wrong, or I don't know what I just said, but Issouf Senon. That's who we got. And we'll take a look at some highlights from him shortly. All right, but trade deadline, man. Let me get to my man Tony Crow because I haven't heard from him in a while. Tony Crow, what's popping with you, bro? The trade deadline came and went today. What do you think about it, man?
Shout out to the chat. That's good, son.
I'm chilling, man.
I'm happy, man.
What do you think?
I'm happy. We got another asset, another first round pick.
Okay.
I've been saying it all year. I would like to have Morris back, but you can't really trust him on his word. We're not allowed to extend him, during the season. So you might as well get what you can get from him. So yeah, I'm definitely happy about that.
Yeah, and for those who think that Marcus Morris may come back to the Knicks over the summer, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna say that, man. It's not happening, in my opinion. It's not happening. I don't
even think he can resign. We can't. We're not like eligible to have him back. Once you trade him, I believe.
No, I think you can. I think you can. We looked at that a while back, maybe a month ago or something like that, and you can. So if they waived him, they wouldn't be able to.
That's right.
They wouldn't be able to get sign him, but I guess they can. But look, once Marcus Morris gets with the Clippers and they're winning basketball games and they're close to being in contention, I don't see him going anywhere. I think he's going to stay there. Now, the way I'm looking at things now, and I actually kind of think the Lakers might get it, based off of emotion. I feel like the Lakers might take it. And maybe that's, just because of the recent events that's making me feel that way. But I feel like the Lakers are going to probably win or at least be in the finals. And if they get there, I think it might be trouble because they're going to be very, very emotional and really want to get that one for the city. You know what I'm saying? But
I mean, yeah,
Marcus Morris going to.
If we could still sign him back, then I'd welcome him back.
I would welcome him back. I just don't think that he's going to come back. I would welcome him back all the way. I just think once he's there, he's gonna be like, yeah, this is all right.
I mean, if he was true to his word as far as just wanting to be closer to his family, I don't think that's gonna change anything, and I don't think he thought the Knicks were in contention prior to signing. So, you know what I mean? Like, I think...
Yeah, no, I get that. I just know, I'm just talking about...
I get 50-50.
Once he gets there and he gets that feeling of contending for a championship, might be hard. It might be hard to be like, nah, I'm going to go back to New York, you know what I'm saying, and not make the playoffs. It might be hard, depending on what his goals are professionally, you know what I'm saying? Other things that happen today, a surprise to me was the Pistons dealing for the Cavaliers dealing for Andre Drummond. That surprised me. The Cavaliers received Andre Drummond. The Pistons received Brandon Knight, John Henson, and the less favorable of Golden State's 2023 second round draft picks. So that was surprising to me. The Hawks reacquire Dwayne Dedmon for Len Parker. The Hawks received Dwayne Dedmon, a 2020 second round pick, a 2021 second round pick, and the Kings received Jabari Parker and Alex Len. All right. Obviously for the Knicks, Marcus Morris is going to the Clippers. The Clippers added Marcus Morris in a 3-team trade. It ended up being a 3-team trade. All right, the Clippers receive Isaiah Thomas and Marcus Morris. So now both those guys, they're collecting talent right now. Both of those guys are going to be contending with the Los Angeles Clippers.
Yo, what's good?
The Knicks receive Mo Harkless from the Clippers. The draft rights to.
It's hard to get on this chest later tonight.
Let me see. One second, Viv. You're live right now, Viv. I didn't mute you out.
Money.
All right, let me mute Viv out for a second, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Now I'm gonna get back to the breakdown. All right. Oh, that's the wrong one. See that? I got multiple ones of them. There we go. All right. So the Clippers added Marcus Morris in a 3-team trade. From the Knicks, the Clippers receive Isaiah Thomas and Marcus Morris. The Knicks receive Mo Harkless from the Clippers. The draft rights to Usuf Sanon from the Wizards. They received a 2020 first-round pick from the Clippers, a protected 2021 first-round pick swap from the Clippers, and then a 2021 second-round pick from the Clippers through the Pistons. All right, so when it's all said and done, the Knicks got a first-round pick from the Clippers, and then they got a second-round pick in 2021. All right, the Wizards received Jerome Robinson from the Clippers. All right, the Rockets got Bruno Caboclo. I can't even say his name. Caboclo. All right, the Grizzlies received Jordan Bell and a 2023 second-round draft pick, and the Rockets received forward Bruno Caboclo. All right, the Heat and Tony. I want to talk about the Heat, man. The Heat and the Grizzlies, actually. Not just the Heat and the Grizzlies. The Miami Heat finalized the trade with the Memphis Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies, they received Dion Waiters from the Heat. They received Justice Winslow from the Heat. And then they received Dang from the Wolves, from the Timberwolves. The Miami Heat received Andre Iguodala from the Grizzlies, Jay Crowder from the Grizzlies, and Solomon Hill from the Grizzlies. The Timberwolves received James Johnson from the Miami Heat. Both of these teams, I think, helped themselves get better. Talking about the Grizzlies and the Heat. And then obviously the Timberwolves, they got D'Angelo Russell. But the Grizzlies and the Heat, I think they both got better. Do you think that, we had this conversation earlier, do you think that the Heat are now a contender?
They're definitely a contender to come out of the East. I don't know. I don't think they could beat either LA team. I don't think they could beat either LA team, and I think that one of those teams is coming up the West.
Okay, but you think so? You think they could beat the Bucks?
7-game series in the Eastern Conference Finals, though.
You think they could beat the Bucks?
Probably not, but 7. They probably push 6-7 game series.
Okay, all right. So do you have them being the second best team in the East right now? I mean, right now Toronto, they've won 12 straight, but do you have the Heat right now as the second best team in the East?
Yeah, I think they beat Toronto in a playoff series. I think they could potentially beat anybody except the Bucks. Okay. And not saying they can't beat the Bucks, but I would expect the Bucks to beat them.
Okay. The Denver Nuggets acquired Jordan McRae.
I would put my money on them. Go ahead.
Yeah, the Denver Nuggets, they acquired Jordan McRae. The Nuggets received Jordan McRae. The Wizards received Shabazz Napier. The 76ers, they acquired Burke and Robinson from the Warriors. So Alec Burke and Glenn Robinson, the third, are going to the 76ers. The Warriors receive a 2020 second-round pick, 2021 second-round pick, and a 2022 second-round pick from the Mavs, the Nuggets, and the Raptors, respectively. All right, the Hawks got Labissiere from the Blazers. The Blazers are getting a 2024 second-round pick. The Hawks also receive cash considerations. The Hawks pick up Derek Walton Jr. from the Clippers, and the Clippers receive a 2022 second-round pick, protected in the top 55. The Timberwolves Obviously, that's the big trade. The Timberwolves got D'Angelo Russell to pair with Karl Anthony Towns, and that's 2/3 of the trio of Devin Booker, D'Angelo Russell, and Karl Anthony Towns. All right, so the Timberwolves received D'Angelo Russell, Jacob Evans, and Omari Spellman. The Warriors received Andrew Wiggins, a 2021 protected first-round pick, and a 2021 second-round pick. So it is notable that the Warriors did not take back any 2020 first-round picks. Right? No 2020 first-round picks. They got Andrew Wiggins and 2 picks for 2021 because the Warriors don't want to, they're trying to save some luxury tax. So if they would have taken a 2020 pick, they would have to pay that guy this year. Right? So they got a 2021 pick and a 2021 second-round pick. All right, so, we're going to see how that looks. I'm anxious to see how that's going to look in Minnesota. Point guards don't seem to always stay there. Remember, Stephon Marbury was in Minnesota. He needed to come back home. D'Angelo Russell is probably going to stay there, though, at least for a little while. We'll see. The Sixers traded off James Ennis, so the Magic received James Ennis, and the Sixers received a 2020 second-round pick. You got the big trade that happened yesterday. Clint Capella, Robert Covington are on the move in a massive 4-team deal. In this deal, the Hawks received Clint Capella and Nene Lario. The Nuggets received Shabazz Napier, Diop, Gerald Green, Noah Vonleh. Of course, the Nuggets moved Shabazz Napier. The Rockets received Jordan Bell, Robert Covington. The Rockets moved Jordan Bell. The Rockets also received a 2020 second-round pick from the Hawks. The Timberwolves received Malik Beasley, Evan Turner, Hernan Gomez, Jared Vanderbilt, and conditional first-round pick from the Hawks through the Nets. All right, so what ended up being kind of quiet, ladies and gentlemen, what started off quiet ended up being pretty active. And then you had some trades that happened, back in January. The Mavericks acquired Willie Cauley-Stein. The Thunder, they had traded Justin Patton to the Mavericks. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is our breakdown of the trade deadline and who went where for what and why. And, I don't know. And any winners and losers you think at this trade deadline, Tony?
Yeah, Houston. I don't know what they was thinking. Like, I don't know what they was thinking. In the West, you wanna rock with no center and think you're gonna beat the Lakers or the Clippers. I mean, the Clippers don't have a lot of size, but
the Lakers do.
The Lakers, Denver. What's the other team with Gobert? The Jazz. Like, I want to see how the rest of the season, like the regular season, plays out with them, and that's going to determine a lot for me. But I sent you that message. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't make any sense to me.
Right. Nah, I feel you. It's hard to say. I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see. Analytics. That's what you said. Analytics. Yeah, they're rocking with the analytics.
Yeah. Double down on analytics.
Yeah. They are rocking with the analytics. I don't know, man. Hey, Tony, I'm gonna let you go, man. I appreciate the call.
No doubt, son. Before I go, you did you touch up on the president hiring?
Yeah. I was just about to get into it a little bit more. I did do a video about it. I went live today when we first heard about Leon Rose possibly, being considered to be the president of the New York Knicks. But it seems like maybe that's not going to be the case. So I'm about to jump into that.
No doubt. I'm going to listen in. Have a good one. Shout out to the chat. Your Blackest Time. Son, keep doing your thing.
All right, no doubt. Before I get into it, though, I'm gonna go ahead and get Viv up here, talk to Viv a little bit, and get his take on what's going down with the trade deadline. Viv, what's going on, man? What's your take with stuff?
So, I mean, this is my general take on the trade deadline. I'm kind of happy that we got the Morris trade down. I understand some fans that are like, why didn't we get some of the young guys from the Clippers? I understand the sentiment, but listen, I think we got a good return. Knowing that we basically signed a one player in Morris was a 1-year contract, and we ended up getting a first round pick. Whether it's a late first round pick, it doesn't really matter. We still got a first round pick. We got a second round pick, which is going to be a good second round pick. And I think those things will add up. I think it's more than what you get normally. I know there's a lot of people that complain that we should have traded for somebody and getting a pick. I think you would have ended up in the same situation we would end up right now. So I think it was good for the Knicks comparing to the other teams in the league. I think the one thing I was kind of surprised with, I feel like Miami kind of fleeced Memphis a bit. They kind of dumped Winslow with a bunch of contracts that kind of they probably don't want on their books next year. That's my general thought from the Miami Grizzlies trade. In terms of D'Lo, I don't really know. I think Minnesota probably will regret trading those picks. I don't think they're going to be that good in a couple of years. But circling back to the Knicks, I think, look, this is an opportunity for us to hopefully make things interesting. Playing some more kids. I was kind of encouraged. I was at the game today, so I was kind of encouraged by how RJ played, and I feel like he's ready to go back in the starting lineup. So I think it'll make things a little bit more interesting, and it will allow us to play some of the youth going forward. So we'll see what happens. But if I'm a Knick fan, I'll be happy with what we got, because this return is not guaranteed by any sort of stretch. So take it for what it is. And hopefully we make the most out of our first round pick for the next season.
Yeah, when we're looking at those first round picks, it doesn't have to be that the Knicks just, straight up, yes, we're gonna draft both of these players. They could choose, depending on the way things fall in the draft or whatever, they can choose to package those two picks to move up. Mm-hmm. Other trades that happen at the trade deadline. Trades always happen at the trade deadline. So there's a number of things that could happen. Right? There's a number of things that could happen.
Yeah, definitely. There's a number of things that could happen, and you never know with those late first round picks. I mean, that Clippers pick is right now going to be somewhere between. It might be 25 to 27 at the moment, but you never know who you can get out of those picks. I mean, in 2005, we picked up David Lee, I believe, with a 30th overall pick in the first round, which is, I think, the last pick in the first round. So you never know who you're going to end up. And David Lee ended up being, the only, I guess, rookie that ended up playing all 4 years of his rookie contract. So you never know who you're going to end up with. So
very true.
Take advantage of it, right?
Very true. You never know what's going to happen. Okay, I want to talk about this and find out what's going on with this. All right. So earlier today, before the Knicks made any moves, well, they only made one move, right? Before the Knicks made any move, this was announced. Leon Rose, this is according to Ian Begley, Leon Rose of CAA and the Knicks are finalizing a deal to make him the club's next team president. Sources confirm. William Worldwide West Wesley is under strong consideration to be part of the Knicks organization under Rose, per SNY sources. Wesley and Rose have a strong relationship. All right. Now, that was 10:35 this morning. Okay. Later on today, about 4:15 or whatever it was, 4 something, This comes out through the Knicks PR. It says, this is a statement from Madison Square Garden Executive Chairman and CEO James L. Dolan. We are actively looking for a new president of the New York Knicks and hope to conclude the search as quickly as possible. I am not selling. He makes that very clear. I'll say it again. He said, I am not selling, but I am determined to find the right leader for the Knicks who will ensure the long-term success of the team, just as we did with the hiring of Rangers president John Davidson. Okay. So my question to you, Viv, is where does all right? I don't understand. Right? First we hear, and now reports come from, obviously the reports that we got came from Ian Begley and other sources that didn't come from the Knicks. Right? Mm-hmm. So we hear that Leon Rose is going to be hired as the next president, and then the Knicks come out with a statement and say, we don't have a president yet. We're still looking. We're going to wrap this up as soon as possible. Explain it to me.
So the only thing I can tell you is that when it comes to someone like Leon Rose, it'll take a couple days to kind of decouple from everything he's doing right now. So what I mean is that because he's a current agent, he has to kind of separate himself from the current relationships he has, which means that whoever he is representing, he has to transition off of them. So for some sort of reason, the news got out, obviously, that he has accepted this role. But for some sort of reason, Dolan decided, all right, I'm going to put out a presser saying, we're searching for a president. But the reality is, in the end of the day, Leon Rose is their guy. They just need to spend some time to have him decouple from everything that he's currently doing, all the relationships he currently has, so he can separate himself from CAA. And look, I wouldn't have put out a statement. I would have just left it out there, but he did it. And I think it was just to bide time. That's really what the end of the day is. I think Leon Rose is still going to be there. He's going to still be announced probably sometime next week. I don't know what time next week. Maybe if not next week. Actually, probably next week. Maybe next week or week after most. But it's just to bide time. That's really what it ended up being.
Okay. All right. What I don't understand is if you hired him, right? If he's going to be the guy, just let it be out there. And then when it's done.
I just don't think they can make it official. That's the real problem. I think that the news, if I were them, ideally I wouldn't have wanted this news to come out right now.
Right. But what I'm saying is they didn't make it official. They didn't put the news out. So if it came out, why wouldn't you just say, all right, it's out there. Let's take care of our business and then we'll announce it later on. Because this, to me, when you put this out there like that, now other people can start to inquire. So let's say James Dolan's like, you know what, Leon, you're hired. It gets out there, right? Now he puts out a statement to say, we're still looking and we're going to try to wrap this up as soon as possible. Somebody else might say, oh, really? Let me give a call and see what's going on. Let me throw my hat in the ring because I'd like that job. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if I was Leon Rose, if you were Leon Rose, how would you feel about that?
I mean, if I'm Leon Rose, though, if I know what I'm getting and if I know the contract I'm receiving, and it's probably going to be a lucrative contract, then I'm just sitting back. But if I'm the organization, right? If I'm gonna bring it back to the organization, just don't say anything. Right. I mean, if you don't say anything, you're better off, right?
Right.
I mean, you don't have to bother with it. You know that they have to spend some time decoupling from it. And it's not the first time he had to deal with this. For example, in 2016, when Hornacek was first hired, the news got out literally like 10 days before he was officially announced. Because I think there was something, I forget, maybe he went on vacation or something like that they couldn't officially announce the hire. But they left it. They didn't say anything. So, if I'm Dolan, just don't say anything. I mean, it just adds more fuel to the fire for fans and other people just wondering what's going on. And, you would have just benefited by not having to say anything.
Right.
But
that's how I feel about it.
Dolan, I mean, listen, the guy will say anything, right? That's Dolan in the end of the day. And unfortunately that is what it is. So it's just more a nuisance more than anything. But unfortunately, listen, if I'm Dolan, I would have, if I was going to be his PR person, I would try to figure out a way to gloss up everything that he does. That's everything from within the Knicks and outside the Knicks. Like, for example, I was at the game, right? So I was at the game. They had the Knicks donated like $5,000 to an organization right there, right? They had John Starks out there. They had Jesse Jackson out there. Listen, if I'm Dolan, I would put you out there and just be upfront about why you're donating this money. Any sort of good press is good press, right? Just go out there and just say whatever you can say, right? But unfortunately, Dolan's not that person. He's very scared of that, being in the spotlight. So, I wouldn't have done it. I understand why he did it. I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been much better off just left. Just leave it the way it is, and then if something changed, you can announce this is what happened. I mean, as long as they don't officially announce it and it's the press announcing it. But Dolan is very sensitive to the press and what's said about him in Madison Square Garden and all that kind of stuff. Nate, go ahead, man.
Yeah, so a couple of things that come to mind with this situation. First off, the statement that Jim Dolan put out there. I mean, listen, everybody we've heard about Leon Rose has been a source. I honestly think if it was a done deal, James Dolan would have put something out in that statement. So I still think it could be in flux in some aspects. What I actually think he's doing, and this doesn't surprise me because we talk about how dysfunctional the Knicks are, maybe using Leon as bait to try to see if he can get another GM to lower their asking price and say, hey, we already got this guy in hold. So if you want this job, you're going to have to come down on your asking price or whatever it is, whoever they're negotiating or talk to. And maybe they're saying, if not, then we'll just go with Leon. Or maybe Leon might be a consultant. I don't know. I don't know. I actually believe that. I don't think he's going to be president. I think he actually could be a consultant like that dude, whatever the hell his name is. Steve, whatever his name is. Dude.
David Blatt.
No. Well, that too. Yeah. I guess like David Blatt. Yeah.
But my thing is, if that was the case, why wouldn't you just call up that person, whoever you would negotiate with, and say, hey, I got Leon Rose right now. I'm not going to make this public. You know what I'm saying? But we got Leon Rose. We got this thing in the bag. If you want to have a chance, you need to lower your asking price because maybe instead of making it public, I don't know.
That's the way the Knicks do things. I mean, you talk about dysfunctional. I mean, did you even say anything about how they fired Mills on that Monday when he was working? Hear about that? Isn't that crazy?
What'd you say?
They fired Mills on Monday, the day he was working, or I guess it's Sunday, but he was still working on Monday, working on trade talks on the phones and all that.
Yeah, I mean,
they fired him Sunday or fired him Monday or whatever it is. But that just shows.
Well, they informed him of the situation on Sunday, and then whatever happened on Monday happened on Monday.
How crazy was that?
I mean, the only thing I could say to that is, when you're in a job, sometimes you got to wrap up certain things, right?
I get it, bro.
Hey, make these calls and let people know before you're out of here.
Man,
sometimes you got to do some stuff.
I'll be like, screw you, man, I'm out.
But he didn't get fired. He moved to another part of the organization. But he didn't get fired. He just moved to another part of the organization. So he's still part of the organization.
Oh, I thought they got rid of him.
No, he's part of he's going to be part of the board of directors of an offshoot of MSG, and that offshoot of MSG is going to oversee the Knicks still. So he's still
This is a mess, man.
So
mean,
he's
my
still
God,
part of part of the Knicks in some way, in some fashion. So we'll see.
You and me can run the Knicks better than these idiots doing this. Like, it's just ridiculous, man. All these leaks, all these dysfunctional situations. I mean, my God, man. I mean, I've never seen an organization run so poorly from the top to the bottom. It's ridiculous, man. I mean, my God, what did they become?
Well, I mean, it's. I don't know if it's the entire organization. It's this wing of the organization. It's this part of the organization. It's the Knicks part of the organization, not the entire MSG. Is that part of the organization? I'm assuming. So I don't know, but it's definitely a confusing situation, ladies and gentlemen. At one hand, you have Ian Begley and other well-known beat writers and things and reporters saying that Leon Rose of CAA and the Knicks are finalizing a deal to make him the club's next team president. Right? The source confirms, and William Worldwide West is under strong consideration to be part of the Knicks organization under Rose. Then after that, later on in the day, now that's 10:35 this morning, later on in the day, you get a statement from Madison Square Garden Executive Chairman James Dolan that says, "We are actively looking for a new president of the New York Knicks and hope to conclude the search as quickly as possible. I am not selling." So, ladies and gentlemen, if you thought James Dolan was selling, he let you know right there, he is not selling. He said, "I am not selling, but I am determined to find the right leader for the Knicks who will ensure the long-term success of the team, just as we did with the hiring of Rangers president John Davidson." So, it is confusing to say the least, ladies and gentlemen. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Hey, Sam, what's going on?
I'm good, man.
I was calling to just, one of the guys in the live chat, one of the people in your video chat made a statement about Dolan that I think is a good one. The Knicks do, and I know people try to be coming for this, but the Knicks do so much, whether it's the God of the Dreams, the young man who got the $5,000 thing tonight because he's running an organization for African American fathers and children, just promoting, African American dads. Like, they do a lot of good work in the community. What I'm saying? That's one thing about the Knicks and the Rangers. I mean, the Garden in general, they do a good job with that stuff. And, James Dolan is very philanthropic and does a good job, I think, in the city in a lot of ways. So that's one thing about the guy I don't think you can criticize. And the other part is, too, look, the Rangers run well. Radio City's running very well. He saved Radio City right when they bought it. So, there's a lot of things he's done well. It's just this Knicks thing is just, to me, is just a problem. And he's very thin-skinned, and I think that's part of the problem that we have. I don't know what you were thinking tonight, but in the third quarter, when we, a lot of the kids were playing in the third quarter, and the game started to turn around, and I thought it was going to get away from us. At least I could sense. I wasn't at the game, but I could sense there was like a tension in the guard, and that type of stuff scares me because I just don't know how that cat's going to react, if the fans get a little annoyed. And I don't know if it's a personality thing. I don't know if he just loves the Knicks more than he loves the Rangers because he doesn't seem to get as involved with the Rangers. But you can criticize him, of course, from a basketball perspective. He deserves a lot of the criticism he's received. But I think the guy tries. I just think he's incompetent. But, the other aspects of the Garden, and again, a lot of people in the city know this, Dolan is he's been very good to a lot of communities. He's been also very good to communities that don't get served as well by the city. He does more for people of communities of color, certainly than Nike does or Adidas does. I can tell you that. And I just think he doesn't get the credit for that. And again, I'm not here to tell you James Dolan's the greatest guy in the world. It's just that he, like I said, the person in the video chat raised a good point. He should probably take a higher profile with that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I just wanted to point that out. And here's my question for you, sir. Is this the end of Mike Miller? Does this mean Miller's gone? And if so, do you have any insight as to who you know, the whole World Wide West group would want to bring in. I was curious as to what you thought about that.
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know if he's gone or what. The only thing I can think is once that person gets here, and they kind of, I'm hoping that they give out their vision of how they want the Knicks to be. Then we kind of get it. Maybe we'll get an idea of does Mike Miller fit that bill? When they start to just talk about their vision on how they want the Knicks to be. So it's I don't know. It's very hard it's hard to say if Mike Miller is going to be here. You know what I mean? I think that it's really going to depend on what the strategy is going forward. We won't know until we really find out who is the president. Is it Leon Rose or is it going to be somebody else? Are they still looking,
Yeah, I only mention it because, again, if the approach is going to be, bringing young guys in, then you really got to have a real X's and O's guys who can develop players, I would think, right? And not a guy to manage stars, So I think that's, then that, again, your approach is going to dictate what kind of coach you hire. I didn't know if you had any insight of that. Listen, thanks for taking my call, Sam. Have a good night. Take care.
I appreciate you, my man. Appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, give me a call, 516-405-2246. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Hey, man, I've just been listening to a lot of the Knicks news, for checking you out back and forth earlier today. My biggest thing is, it seems like a lot of people are complaining about what we managed to pull off considering the situation. My biggest thing is, we did secure like 2 first-round draft picks. And everybody's saying, well, the one we just got from the Clippers is so low. And what I'm thinking is, well, if we have 2 first-round draft picks, if we really deemed it necessary to move up in the draft, we're probably in a good position where we could trade up.
True. Very true.
And possibly take control of the first draft pick in the draft, just because we have 2 to offer. So I was just wondering, because I've been listening to a lot of stuff all day, and nobody's really mentioned how we could move up possibly and secure the point guard. Seems like everyone's been crying that we really need, even though I think Peyton's been playing like a man possessed since the suspension.
He has.
That's kind of what's been rolling through my mind. And, I seen you earlier, and I came back to you now, and I'm just listening to you, and you seem like you're kind of level-headed, and seem like you might really have some insight on just that opinion in general.
Yeah,
so
and I think we mentioned it a little bit earlier when I was talking to Viv. I mentioned it a little bit earlier that, people may think that 2020 first round pick from the Clippers, it's the Clippers is going to be a low pick, but yeah, we could package it depending on the way things work out in the draft. We could package it to move up. We could package it to we could package it to trade for a player if a player became available. Right. So there's a lot of things that could be done. You know what I mean? And now if we were in the draft, we wouldn't actually trade the pick. We would draft for another team, and then trade the player.
Got you. Just basically pass it off to them.
So there are things that can be done we have 2 first round draft picks this year. You know what I mean? So, that gives us, that's nice. Listen, we have 2 first round draft picks this year. I believe we have 2 first round draft picks next year. In 2020.
Also, and to me, being a Knicks fan, like I can remember being in the Garden when they played the Lakers and Bernard King scored 50 points. And they were yelling, "Long live the King." So, I've been a Knicks fan for a long time. And, ever since the brief stint of the early Melo era when, we had a couple of guys there, Rashid and all of them. We had a couple of guys there and we made the playoffs. It's been a long drought, since the Ewing eras. So for me, like, with all the moves being made, I'm really optimistic. I think we're in the best position we've been in years. As far as we have flexibility to make moves with the cap space and everything else, And I'm just wondering why there's so many naysayers now. Like, everybody yelled for Steve Mills to be gone. Now he's gone. And now it's okay. We don't want this other guy here, and we wanted a big name. But it seems like, everybody's like, we jumped in the pool with Bill Jackson, and it seemed like we had a big splash, and then all we did after that was drown. So my biggest thing is I just want somebody like, that's going to have some type of vision to move us forward. Of course, them having some extra connections won't hurt us. But as long as we have those picks, I always see that as a positive where we can move forward and at least still stay under the rebuild, no matter if we can't, bring any big names here right away. But I don't think big names want to come unless you have something for them to build around. You have to have something to build around these picks. These drafts that these so-called free agents that we want to come and attract to New York. If you don't have something that they could look at and say, okay, I can wrap my arms around that, and we'll never get to that. So just think as New York fans, a lot of us been around a long time, some of us been around a short time, but either way, just believe we got to really just be patient with this now. Really take our time and understand that we're really in the driver's seat for our future. For once in a long time, so just wanted to run that by you and just see what you were really thinking, because I appreciate and value your opinions. I like the way you speak, and I like the way you talk, and the way you bring things across. It seems very agreeable. It seems very common sense based. Not a lot of emotion attached to it. It's just kind of like you want them to win just like I do.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And yeah, definitely, I do want them to win just like you do. And I think, obviously, this year, the expectations were maybe a little bit different, hoping that with the group that we accumulated, we could do something a little bit better.
Right.
But the one thing that the front office did, whether it was Scott Perry or Steve Mills, is they kept us flexible with having short-term contracts and being able to do just what we did today with Marcus Morris and able to flip some of these players for draft picks. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And people talk about, well, you could have used your space to bring in a player and get draft picks. But what we did is actually a little bit better than that, right? Because we could have said, okay, you know what? We'll take this player who's on the books till 2021 or 2022, and you give us a first-round draft pick. We could have did that. But then we would have had that person until 2022, right? Instead, we got Marcus Morris, $15 million, able to flip him for a first-round draft pick, right? Now, the other guys didn't work out as such. But let's just say that Bobby Portis happened to work out that way and somebody else happened to work out that way where we would have been able to flip him. It would have really looked nice the way that we used the money. It didn't happen, but we still, by June, if we don't want him anymore, by June, we can waive him, give him $1 million. You can do that with Bobby Portis, Wayne Ellington, Taj Gibson, Elfrid Payton, right? You can waive them, give them $1 million, and you got that money freed up. The Knicks can still free up $50 million, $60, $70 million. So, yeah,
you hit that right out the park with that one. Because everybody's sitting around, why couldn't we move these other players? And I understand the anxiety from that. Yeah, I want to move them. You want to move them. We all want to move them. But guess what? Apparently, we're the only ones that want them. Because if they could be moved, right now we're headed into the All-Star break. It's about to be, playoff time. Everybody's going to be gearing up. If they felt that they were pieces that they needed, they would have made offers for them.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently we bought something that nobody else wanted at the time. But right now they're serving the purpose. They're filling the roster. They're not going to cost us a lot of money in the end. So it was an experiment. Like you said, we didn't get everything we wanted out of it. But at the end of the day, it didn't cost us anything.
Right.
It really doesn't cost us much. So we're still going to have all the flexibility basically that we had when we went in. Actually, we're going to come out of this better than we went in. So I think we've been losing so long that we can't even see the silver lining in the clouds sometimes.
It's definitely tough been losing so long. Another thing, and I believe, I haven't had the time to really research it, but I believe Bobby Portis, Elfrid Payton, Taj Gibson, Wayne Ellington, Reggie Bullock, all of these guys during the trade deadline, they can still be traded during the draft. They can still be traded during the draft because their contract goes into the following season. Now, if there were
they're expiring contracts,
well, not because they're expiring, but because
they're optional contracts. They have options.
Yeah, because they're optional contracts, right? So because they're optional contracts, you can still trade them during the draft.
Wow.
Which could help you if somehow, some way, money opened a free agent, not a free agent, somebody that was a disgruntled player that wanted to be traded. You have players that you can trade to that team. Let's just say, for example, and this is just hypothetical, right? I'm just using a player. Let's just say Karl Anthony Towns is making $28 million a year, and he said, I want to be traded from Minnesota, right? He's got a contract that still goes on for another 4 years or whatever it is. The Knicks could say to Minnesota, okay, well, you know what? We can give you Bobby Portis. He's making $15 million. We can give you Elfrid Payton. Then Minnesota can waive him by June 28th. Right?
Oh, gotcha.
And it helps Minnesota, and then the Knicks, get Karl Anthony Towns. Of course, the Knicks, of course, there would be other things, first-round draft pick, whatever. So I'm just using this hypothetically. So those players could still be valuable at the draft.
Because the new guy that we just hired, Leon Rose, his firm represents Karl Anthony Towns.
Mm-hmm.
So, like you said hypothetically, but I would like to revisit this draft time next year.
Yeah, well, we'll see, man.
And I would love to come on and be like, yeah, he mentioned that hypothetically and it happened.
Yeah,
we always gave Phil Jackson all this credit when he came. All Phil Jackson was just a name. This guy that he hired now, I give Dolan one thing. This guy is actually credible in the circles of the NBA now. Like, he's actually somebody who's a mover and a shaker that's in the NBA now. Was just a top-notch coach who got a lot of credit from the Kobe years and Shaq years and Jordan years and Pippen years.
Yeah.
But, the way I look at it now, I can understand, everybody wanted the guy from Toronto, what's his name?
Masai Ujiri?
Yeah, Masai Ujiri. I get that. But at the end of the day, if you really ever listen to what he had to say about us, he made it clear he really didn't want to deal with us.
Yeah, he definitely said that.
Say that he wanted to come. I never heard that come out his mouth.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking it's a lot of hype around what we can do instead of being satisfied with the things that can get done.
Okay.
Sometimes you gotta do the things that you can do. Don't worry about the things that might happen. So I guess Dolan's tired. I guess he's like, I own this team, and I'm so sick of, I'm sick of the things that I've done that I'm paying the price for.
Yeah.
I'm sick of the fans constantly yelling and screaming at me and constantly telling me sell the team. Let me try to put them in the best position with people that actually have to know. I think this is going to all come down to who we hire as the GM.
Yeah,
I believe that's going to be what this really comes down to in the end, where the fan base will be satisfied and everybody involved that loves the Knicks will be satisfied. If they go out and hire the right GM, I believe everything will be fine over the next 2 to 3 years.
Right.
But it's a building process. We're not going to be good overnight. We didn't become bad overnight. We were actually a decent franchise for a long time. Because I'm 52 and I can vouch for that. We were a decent franchise.
We definitely were, man. With Ewing and we were definitely a decent franchise for a minute. Hey, I appreciate the call. I'm gonna get on. I know I got some people that want to get in. All right.
I appreciate you, brother.
Man.
Keep
appreciate
it going,
you, bro.
Hit that like button and share it too.
Appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. We'll see where we're gonna go from here. We'll see where. It's a lot of ways that we can go. And, if these guys don't get waived, Wayne Ellington, Bobby Portis, all these guys, if they don't get waived, let's not worry too much because, like I said, at that draft, they could end up helping us match some salary to help a team get out from under a contract and we get what we want or something like that. And the draft is on June 25th. So if nothing happens during the draft, then you can still waive him by June 28th. That's it. That's an okay position. It's okay. Caller, you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's poppin'?
What's going on? I talked to you a few days ago. Didn't I tell you they was going to keep Dennis J?
Yeah. I remember. And they kept him. I don't know if there was a lot of people clamoring for him, but
from PA. All right.
Yeah, I remember you. I don't know if there was a lot of people clamoring and like really wanting DSJ, but he's here, and I'm hoping that he does well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. I called in to say the Leon guy. I really don't know. So we really gotta just see like how this goes. You know what I mean? I don't know how that's gonna go. I'm a little happy that Steve Mills is out of there, and the Morris trade. I like it because we got a first-round pick. So now we got 3 picks. You asked me a question before, and I never answered your question.
All right. What was that?
You said, who would I like to stay? We got DSJ. We got Knox. We got, what's this guy? The 3-and-D guy.
3-and-D guy, Reggie Bullock.
Reggie Bullock. Randall, I wanted to stay. Hey, he here. Let him do what he do. Mitch, I don't want to go, and RJ, I don't want to go. Everybody else could go.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna see what they do, man. We gotta wait until this new guy comes in and get an idea of what he's looking at. Hopefully, once he comes in, he's gonna talk to the fans, talk to the media. You know, let us know what his vision is and how they're gonna move going forward. So, you know, we'll see how that goes from there, man. Hey, I'm sorry I gotta keep it short, but it's getting kind of late, and I gotta try to get some more people in, man.
All right, say no more.
Appreciate you, brother. Get one more phone call, then I'm going to come to the chat, and I want to look at actually, I'm going to look at it now. I'm going to look at the upcoming schedule now with some of the guys in the chat. I'm going to start with Isaiah. Is Isaiah there? See, I had to punish Isaiah for, you know, trying to hog everything. Not there. All right, then I'm going to come to Nate. Then I'll come back around. As soon as Isaiah is there, I'm going to come back around. All right, let's take a look at our upcoming schedule. Okay, because, you know, we beat the Orlando Magic tonight. We have coming up on Saturday, so, you know, we get tomorrow off, and then we play Saturday. We play the Detroit Pistons. Now, when we play the Pistons on Saturday, they may have Andre Drummond. I'm sorry, they're not going to have Andre Drummond. Andre Drummond is in Cleveland now. All right, so looking at our schedule coming up, ladies and gentlemen, you know, we may be there. Let's talk about it. We just beat the Orlando Magic. Saturday, we play the Detroit Pistons. Then we play the Atlanta Hawks. Then we play the Washington Wizards. All right, then his schedule gets tougher. So we have 3 games that are very winnable. All right. Can we take these 3 games? We're on a 3-game winning streak. Can we extend it to 7? Can we extend it to 6? Going into that Indiana Pacers game? Right? We're 1 win away from 17. 1 win away. Right? 1 win away from 17. Nate, what do you think, man? Again, we play the Pistons, the Hawks, and the Wizards coming up. Can we extend this winning streak to 6?
I think we can, but I'm a little worried because without Morris, that's 19 points that we're going to have to replace. And the question is, who's going to pick up their game more? Is it going to be Randall? The point guard's been playing well. Or is it going to be Harkless? Or is it going to be Barrett? I mean, somebody's going to have to pick up their scoring.
I'm putting my money on RJ Barrett. I'm putting my money on RJ Barrett.
If he stays healthy, I agree. I think he's going to definitely blossom the second part of the season.
Yeah, I think that this is going to be an opportunity for R.J. Barrett to have the ball in his hands a little bit more. You can see more. You can see the more ball movement tonight. Without without it coming down to it being in Morris's hands. So I think R.J. Barrett will be the one to pick up the slack. That's my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, and I think maybe even Julius Randle might score a little bit more now that Morris is out. Hopefully, it's not threes. So I didn't watch the game tonight because I was working. How did the point guards do? Who started? Was it Elfrid again?
Elfrid Payton started. He had 15 points, 9 assists, 7 steals.
Okay, and DSJ, how did he play?
DSJ had 1 point, and he had 6 assists.
And Ntilikina?
Frank had 2 points, 1 assist. Played some decent defense, but he only played 13 minutes. But yeah, I think it's going to be RJ who steps up.
Yeah, like I told you, Sim. I mean, with getting Mo Harkless, I really expect our defense to be not miss a beat. With Morris being out, because I think Mo Harkless is a good defender. He might even be a better defender than Morris. I don't know the analytics behind either one of them. But I like his athleticism, and like I said, he can guard multiple positions. So,
right.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, the point guards have been playing well, which is good. We have to get more consistent play from the point guards, and having RJ Barrett come back, that's a plus. And, like I said, I mean, is Randall going to step up his game? Is it going to be Barrett? Is it going to be Harkless? I mean, all those are candidates, in my opinion, to kind of cover the scoring of Marcus Morris.
Yeah. Well, but this is what I want. I don't want Julius Randle to try to step up his game. I just want the game to flow. That's it. I just want the game to flow.
I guess so.
And whoever, if you're the guy, the ball is naturally going to gravitate towards you. If you're hitting shots, the team is going to give you the ball. I just want the game to flow naturally.
No, I agree, but you also got to agree that we got to get more from our guards. Our point guards have got to give us more. I mean, they've been doing good lately, and they got to continue to do well.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Elfrid Payton has been balling lately. We'll see. Let me get around to some other guys. See if we can we extend this out. Guillermo, I'm coming to you. Let Guillermo know I'm coming to Guillermo. I see him having a convo. Guillermo.
Yo.
Can we extend this winning streak to 6, man? I'm going to name off who we play again. We play the Pistons on Saturday, the Hawks on Sunday, and the Washington Wizards on Wednesday. Can we extend this streak to 6, to a 6-game winning streak?
I mean, you're up against the Magic, who won the worst scoring teams, and you win by only 2. So, I mean, a win is a win, but the style of win tells you everything, man. I'm not sure. I'm really just looking for more so development for the young guys, but I understand the gist of your question. We're playing relatively weak teams, but again, we find ways to lose to some teams we shouldn't have lost to. And I'm not even talking about, we lost to the Pacers. I'm talking about some crap teams we lost to where it's like, huh? So I don't know. Remember, the first half of this game, Sim, was ridiculous in terms of the Elfrid Payton was on pace to get 20 steals this game. Just from the first half, and he only had 7. That sounds crazy. I'm saying only had 7. 7 is a stupid number. But it's like our first half and second halves are night and day. So it all depends on how we carry our first halves. Defensively, we looked disgusting the first half. I've never seen it. It just looked stupid. It was like every possession, the Magic was just messing up. Knicks. So you talking about the Hawks. The Hawks got Clint Capella, so now you got a big man to kind of play the pick and roll with your boy Trae Young. I don't know how that's gonna go. Obviously, John Collins is the main guy. I don't even know if he's back. I haven't been watching the Hawks. Someone could correct me. I don't know. And if we don't play the pick and roll, stop him high up top like we did in the preseason, he could give us trouble. He could give us issues. I don't know. And then you said who else? Detroit. Detroit really has nothing. I ain't bet on that because we find ways to lose anyway. We lost to a Wizards team with a whole bunch of G League players. And then you said we have the Wizards, right? I don't know. Bradley Beal again. It's a guy. He's a guy who takes a lot of shots. He plays. He's been. He shoots inefficient some of the games he played against us. But again, they play us with a bunch of G League players. So I don't know. The thing with the Knicks is that we sometimes beat teams we're not supposed to beat, like the Heat at home, and then we lose to teams that we're really not supposed to be losing to. So we could lose our next game to the Hawks. We could lose our next game to Detroit. I really don't know which Knicks team is going to show up.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, the Magic, they average 103 points per game. They scored 103 points per game. But you got to remember, we only average 100 points per game. So, right, we scored 105 tonight, but we only average 100 points per game.
And look at who scored, Tim. Look at the guys who scored. Randall, I think you can kind of count on Randall for giving you the 20 points game. And he was pretty efficient tonight when he plays a Randall-type game. But the other contributors were Peyton and Taj. Taj had, 17 points?
Mm-hmm.
What do you have?
He had 19 points.
Like, bro, you can't.
But with Marcus Morris not being here, naturally the ball is going to flow to some other people's hands. Right, because the ball, people are just going to get more touches, so naturally the ball is going to flow. I think R.J. Barrett's going to step up. I really do. I think R.J. Barrett's going to step up. He's going to have the ball in his hands more now, and I think he's going to step up. I think he's really going to step up the second half of the season. The second half, well, after the deadline, I think he's going to step up. So I'm looking forward to that.
One thing I do. People keep complaining about Morris and stuff. One benefit that the Morris trade does is that the team has to spread that scoring out, right? So you're going to have to become a little bit more creative, right? There's going to be more cuts to the basket, quicker passing, using a point guard to kind of draw in the defenses when you dribble, drive, kick out. So that scoring has to come from someplace. Not to say it has to come from someplace, but if you think of that level where, okay, now Morris is not here, and don't get me wrong, Morris was efficient. He shot 43% from the three. He was somewhat of a ball stopper, but when a ball stopper leaves, now the rest of your team has to come up with that production. So I'm interested to see how Mike Miller is going to find that production, right? Guys like Bullet had a poor night tonight, but Ellington came in, shot, I don't know, 3 or 4 threes, whatever. He had a pretty good game off the bench. So, I mean, I think it's just going to force our team to be a lot more creative, which I'm looking forward to, especially with the young guys.
Right.
Guys like Nas going to have to step up because what the hell is he doing tonight? But anyway.
Right, and that exactly. I'm looking forward to seeing these guys step up and who's going to step up. And we can't forget about Mo Harkless and see what he's not a scorer, but he'll have more touches being here. The Knicks, he'll have a few more touches. So we'll see what happens there, man. The Knicks play the Detroit Pistons next, and he takes on that game.
Well, they lost Andre Drummond. I don't really know their roster like that. I think Blake is still out, right?
Yeah.
I think they didn't trade Kennard, right? I really don't have any to say on the Pistons, man. They have Derrick Rose. No, Derrick Rose is still there.
Derrick Rose is still there.
They got Derrick Rose, Luke Kennard. I want to say Blake Griffin is hurt.
Blake Griffin, I believe, is still hurt.
Brandon Knight, I think, got traded.
Who?
Brandon Knight, I think, got traded.
Yes, yeah.
Today, Don Maker, Markieff Morris didn't get traded. He killed us. Kills last time. I think he hit a few threes on us last time off the bench. And Langston Galloway, I think, had a decent game against us when we played them over there. So, again, this is a team where, look, I'm not a Knicks, but the Knicks got to do a better job of scouting a bunch of guys they probably never seen before, right? You got to do your research on the film because we get beat, I think, sometimes with the teams where we don't really know the players, i.e. the Wizards. We lost them at that game. So it's up to him. I really just can't call it because Derrick Rose is as decent as I think he is. I'm not sure if he's a world. I don't know. I can't call it. I'm not even trying to speculate.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll I guess we'll see. We'll get a chance to look at it. Let me see. Let me look. They lost Wednesday. My computer's taking a long time to load up, so I can't pull it in. They lost one. Oh no, actually they won. They beat the Suns Wednesday. They're 19-34 on the season. Obviously, everything is going to change because they just traded Andre Drummond. So that's a big inside presence, right? That is no longer there. That's a huge inside presence. I don't know what the Cleveland Cavaliers are doing or what their idea is behind that entire trade. I don't know if Andre Drummond wants to stay in Cleveland. I know he was a little bit hurt that he was traded from, the tweet that he sent out. Seemed a little bit bothered by being traded from the Detroit Pistons. I guess he was traded without warning. So we'll see.
Dude,
right now,
been on the trading block for months. I
know. The Pistons, they average 108.9 points per game. They give up 111 points per game. I don't know how much that's going to change now that Andre Drummond is gone. They do average 24 assists per game and 42.5 rebounds per game. Their rebounding is going to change drastically because they average 42.5 rebounds per game and Andre Drummond averaged 17 of them. All right, so it makes me wonder, who's going to step in and rebound for them, we'll see. Reggie Jackson is there playing, Bruce Brown, Sekou Doumbouya, Tony Snell's their small forward. I don't know. They got Thon Maker. Is he gonna play center? I don't know what they're gonna do. Hard to say. I don't know what they're gonna do.
Yeah, they got a weird team, man.
Yeah. They got a weird team that really is not going anywhere. So
nope.
Not going anywhere.
I don't
we'll
want
see,
to itch on them because this would be me saying I'm not going to call a game because this would be the type of game where they'll come and they'll kill us by 15 points, 20 points, and there's a bunch of Luke Kennard's going to go off and have some 6 for 8 game from 3, and it's I don't even want to call it, man. It is what it is, man. Knicks to me. If we could play like we did in the first half, this is why I don't get hyped for Knicks games like that. Because they're so frustrating. That first half, we've seen that first half time and time again, from against crappy teams to some of the best teams in the league or good teams in the league. The Bucks game that the last Bucks game where we lost by 27. The first half we were down by how much? 5? We weren't down by that much. And it's you see this for the Knicks, and then we just lose concentration. It's not even that one play that's bad, or it's everything falls apart. So you can't even really judge what it is. Is it coaching? Is it? So I want to say we're going to beat the Pistons. I hope we beat the Pistons. The only reason why I hope I beat the Pistons is if a bunch of young guys play where it's all right, I see what shapes up for the future, or guys that are going to be here next year, we see what's going to shape for the future. If Elton's coming in, he's shooting three threes again tonight. But it's I've seen Ellington come in and miss all his shots. Bullock had a bad night tonight, but I've also seen where Bullock has had really good nights as well too. So,
well, that happens. That happens with every team, anytime, right? Some players play good, some players, but not. Anything. The Knicks are 5-5 in their last 10 games. They're 3-2 in their last 5 games. Their defense has been pretty good over the last 10 games or so. If I look at the last 10 games. The Knicks have the 4th best defensive rating in the league over the last 10 games. That's 106.9. Last 10 games, that's a decent sample size. The last 12 games, their defensive rating is 7th in the league at 108.5. It's the offensive side of the ball that's really hurting us. You know what I mean? So we'll see if we can keep it going, man. We'll see if we can keep it going. Viv, I'm gonna come to Isaiah. Isaiah, what's up, man?
What's going on, son?
What's going on with you? See, when you try to flag me down, man, that's what I do. I go away from you. You try to flag me down, I'm going away from you.
It's all right, man. It's all right. I'll get you back for that. But, yeah, man, Sim, I'm with Gamma, man. This is the making of a trap game when the Knicks get out rebounded 100-2. I just hope we just, take the rebounding game serious and let's try to tie our record to get 17 wins, So
let's get it. We got 16 wins right now. Let's get it, man. 17 wins.
Yeah, man. I told you before, man. Let's get to 25 wins this season, man. Let's get to 25, man. Yeah, man. Let's just take the Pistons serious, man. I know they just traded Andre Drummond. Let's just take them serious, man. Let's show them respect, and let's come out there and play, like we, played tonight, and maybe the young kids can play a little bit better, man. And I don't know about Kevin Knox, and that dude is just I don't know, man. It makes you think. I don't really regret, draft picks, but man,
hey,
maybe
come on, man. He's got a lot of development to do. You know what I'm saying? We're doing with him the same way with the same things we did with Frank, right? It's just the opposite end of the spectrum right now. We're doing the same things we did with Frank when Frank was here. As soon as Frank stepped on the floor, as soon as Frank was drafted, as soon as people seen Frank do a workout, everybody was like, oh, he's slow. He ain't got no speed. He can't do this. He can't do that. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you just got to let these guys fall into their place.
Well, Sam, let me say this, though.
Just let him fall into his place. Let him fall into his place. If his place is where, just let him do it. Let him fall into his place. Let the team, let the Knicks program try to develop him the best way it can. Let him have. He's had one off season in his entire career. Let him have 2 or 3 off seasons to look at what he can and can't do, look at his strengths and look at his weaknesses and work on them. Can he get a couple off seasons to do that before we just write him off? Can he get a couple off seasons? You know what I'm saying? He got to get a couple off seasons to be able to look at his game and see what he can and can't do before we just write the kid off, man. You can't. You got to let him get a couple off seasons in there, because that's where the development is. You got to let him get some of those in there. You know what I mean? Oh, my bad. Hold up. Go ahead.
But here's my argument with that, right? And I don't care what anybody says, and people can say whatever. At least with Frank, at the end of the day, Frank came in as a defender. He can do something on the court. When Kevin Knox doesn't make a shot, can you tell me what he does well?
Can you let the guy get some seasons? Can you let the guy get some seasons under his belt? He's playing 13 minutes. Well. Hold up. He's playing. He can rebound the ball. Right? When he plays 19, 20 minutes a game, he gets 5 or 6 rebounds. Right? We've seen him make some plays that he did not do last year and finding Mitchell Robinson on the alley-oop. Everybody wants everything to come in one big package all the time. Nobody wants to wait for little pieces to develop and grow. That is the biggest problem that I have with my own people, which are Knicks fans, is that we want all the entire package at once instead of letting it grow. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it kills me. It bothers me. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna ask, okay, what else does he do well? You know what? We don't know what he's gonna end up doing well and not doing well because he's only been in the league for a year and a half. We don't know. We gotta let him get some off seasons under his belt. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind saying Knox has to learn how to do this. Like Guillermo was saying, Knox got to learn how to get his basketball IQ and do this and do that and learn how to do this, do that. That's what we're supposed to do. But when you write him off already after 120 games in his career or whatever it is, I just think that's a mistake for any player that's in the NBA. You got to let them get some off seasons under the belt to grow and become whatever they're going to become. You gotta let that happen, man. Big shout out. I just want to give a big shout out to Jason Young. Thank you for the super chat. He said, I like Knox, but we should have taken Shai Alexander. Maybe you're right. You know what I'm saying? You could be right about that. Maybe we should have, but we didn't. This is who we have now. This is what we got to work with. You know what I'm saying? Sean Kearns, thank you for becoming a member. Sean Kearns just became a 70s NBA champion member, and next week I am going to have a show just for members. You're only going to be able to access this live stream if you're a member, and it's going to be specifically for members, and we're going to talk about whatever we talk about. You know what I'm saying? So big shout out to you, Sean, for becoming a member. Thank you for becoming a member. What I do want to do now is I want to take a look at, because we got a point guard out of this Marcus Morris trade. I just want to give you guys a quick look at this point guard that we got out of the Marcus Morris trade. I don't know what he's going to end up being or if he'll ever come to the NBA, right? His name is Isuf Sanon. Let's take a look at this guy, ladies and gentlemen. Isuf Sanon, ladies and gentlemen. The Knicks picked this guy up, and you see him, number 30 right there. They picked him up from the Washington Wizards. The Knicks picked up his rights from the Washington Wizards. All right, he's a young guy. We'll see. Maybe he's somebody that the Knicks, most of the time we got another guy that we drafted, we got a guy that we drafted that we haven't even taken a look at yet. You know what I'm saying? But maybe this guy will, get a chance to come in the summer league this year, and we'll get a chance to look at this guy. I think he's a 6'4" combo guard, so he's not really a point guard. He's a 6'4" combo guard. Looks like he can shoot off the dribble. Looks like he can go to the basket a little bit. Maybe plays with a little bit of energy. I'm not sure how well that will translate to the NBA. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. If he's got enough swag to make it translate to the NBA. Right? You see him take it down the lanes. Got a little bit of speed, a little bit of athleticism. So, we'll see what's up with it, man. All right, we'll see what's up with it. So that's a guy that we got. We got this guy from the Washington Wizards in this 3-team trade between the Clippers, Knicks, and Wizards, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see what he's about. We'll see what he's about and see if we get a chance to see him in Summer League or something like that. I'm hoping that we do. Again, he's a 6'4" combo guard. All right, ladies and gentlemen, look, I'm going to be out of here right now. I'm going to get some last words from the guys, and then I'm jumping out of here tonight. If I get a chance, I got to see what my schedule looks like tomorrow. Got a few things going on. Hopefully, I'll get a chance to, do a game preview. I haven't done one in a while because there's been so much going on with the trade deadline and all that stuff. I haven't had a chance to do a game preview. So I want to make sure. I'd like to get a game preview in before the game with the Detroit Pistons. And I will say, Guillermo, I'm gonna come to you first for some last words. I'm gonna come to you first. We got another win tonight. This is our third game in 4 nights. My girls, we got another win tonight. Third game in 4 nights. We started off slow. They jumped out on us 6-0. The team, they jumped out on us 6-0. And then we took the press off because for whatever reason they were beating our press. So we took it off.
A full court press?
Full court press. We start off in a full court press every game. We took off the press and we went man to man. Because what we do is this. So we try to keep our defense switching all the time. So we start off in a 2-2-1 full court press, right? We score buckets, 2-2-1 full court press. We drop back into a 2-3 off of the 2-2-1 full court press. If we miss, we're in man. All right, so if we shoot a shot and miss it, we're in man. If we make it, we set up in 2-2-1.
Well, when you guys fall back into the zone, shouldn't that be based off of what the other team does well, right? So if they have a bunch of good shooters, you played a 3-2. We
played
slashes, you played a 2-3.
No, we play a pretty aggressive zone. So our 2-3 zone could look like a man. It's kind of a matchup zone. So, it's not like we're laying back and just letting them shoot threes. We kind of match up with it. We try to play it as tight as possible. But they were breaking the 2-2-1. So we had to drop back, or not drop back. They broke the 2-2-1, so we went man. We said, okay, we're going straight man. If we're not in 2-2-1, dropping back to 2-3, because it's just easy out of the 2-2-1 to drop back into 2-3 instead of people scrambling to find a man. It's easy to drop back into a matchup 2-3, right? If we're not doing that, then we're usually in man. All right, so we said, okay, we're going to go straight man. We came back. Then, we let the game teeter. They hit some lucky shots. I can't stand it when teams hit some lucky shots. We went into halftime down 19-17. My daughter wasn't really hitting shots, so she had to find other ways to contribute. I told her, I said, "You're not hitting shots. You got to get a lot of rebounds. You got to get steals. You got to do whatever." We went into the locker room. And we was like, listen, we don't have the energy. And we just came off of playing a game that had a lot of energy, a lot of emotion. I was like, it's natural for us to have a letdown. We got to fight. I said, we're fighting against a few things here. 1, an emotional letdown. 2, we've won 8 games in a row, right? It's easy for us to relax. 3, we got the law of averages playing against us. We've won 8 games in a row. Pretty soon you're going to drop one. So we're fighting against a lot of things. We went out in the second half, and with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, they had only scored 4 points in the second half.
Was this a good team?
Huh?
Was it a good team you guys were playing against?
They were 11-3 coming into the game. Something like that.
They only scored 4 points.
They scored 4 points. We shut them down. We shut them down in the second half. And then at the end of the fourth quarter, we kind of relaxed a little bit, stopped pressing. Because we went 55. We went full court man-to-man the whole second half, and we shut them down in the second half. Then they scored a couple of points at the end of the fourth quarter, but game was over.
You went full court man-to-man. Damn, you're a psycho, Sim. I mean, but you know what? That is high school, because I remember playing.
Yeah.
I remember playing the full court press in high school, but we had a bunch of unathletic dudes on our team. I was one of the only okay guys in shape, so it was painful, man. A bunch of kids on my team just smoked weed and drank. But anyway,
no, man, we went.
We couldn't play that full court press, and we get killed. But we did it. But we get all the good athletic black teams like Harding and Trinity. They would kill us. So it's painful. But you are a psycho, Sim. Why are you making these girls run?
We press all. We take the press off sometimes. We take the press off, but full court man to man. We do a lot of running in practice, though. We do a lot of running. Full court man to man. So we basically press the entire game. Sometimes we'll drop back. We'll do a 3/4 court 1-2-2 press.
When do you guys play the top team, the number 1 team?
Next,
you tell me about.
We played the number 1 team. This team, the team that we played here, was out of our conference. They weren't a conference game. We played the number 1 team next Tuesday. So we got a game tomorrow, which we should win this game by 30. And then we play the number 1 team next Tuesday. We should go into that game.
Let me guess. Who's going to be a leading scorer, Sim?
I don't know. Tonight, my daughter wasn't the leading scorer tonight.
Yeah, who's going to be a leading scorer?
She wasn't the leading scorer tonight.
Man, who's going to be a leading scorer? It don't matter. Who's going to be a leading scorer tomorrow, Sim?
I don't know. I have no idea.
This is what disgusts me about Sim. He knows his girl's going to be a leading scorer, but he's trying to be humble.
Listen. My daughter had 13 points and 10 rebounds tonight. The freshmen on our team had 14 points and 8 rebounds tonight. I don't know. Just saying.
So you're not slick. I played against enough.
I don't know.
Coaches who had to. Your daughter's gonna go back out tomorrow and jack shots.
Nah, we don't let anybody jack shots. Well, let's put it like this: we let people. Anybody can shoot as long as it's a good shot. If it's not a good shot, don't shoot it. And if you shoot it and it's not a good shot, we're gonna let you know about it. We'll take you out of the game and say, don't shoot that shot. Anybody can shoot as long as it's a good shot.
This guy's on his bootleg Jerry Sloan.
Anybody can shoot as long as it's a good shot. You can shoot. I don't care if it's 50 shots. As long as they're good shots, you can shoot them.
All right, man. Well, hopefully you guys. I want to hear about the Tuesday night game.
Yeah, that's going to be the game. That's going to be the game.
That's not the one with the. No. That's not. You told me about the coach who was playing. That was a third place team that you guys play, right?
Yeah.
Playing coach.
Yeah, we'll see. That it's gonna be a tough game next Tuesday because this team is really, really good. You guys lost by double digits. They beat us by
right?
21 the first time we played them. They beat us by 21. They're not gonna beat us by 21 again. They better not beat us by 21.
But are you gonna win this time?
We'll see. We'll see.
I don't like that attitude. What if your girls are like, hey, coach, do you think we're going to win? You can't be saying, well, we'll see.
No, I'm not going to say we'll see. If they say, you think we're going to win, I'm going to say, I'll say to them, if we do the things that we're supposed to do, if we do all the little things, if we come out, we focus on our fundamentals, we make passes, we stop doing these dumb one-handed passes, we pass with 2 hands, we take the right shots, we rebound the basketball, we stop them from getting offensive rebounds, and we take care of the basketball, we'll put ourselves in a position to win.
He's supposed to be hyping up the team. But you know what? I get it, Sim.
I'll just be real with him. Listen, we have a whole system based on, right? Based on, it's a system that forces them to have to, all right. You have everything, different parts of the game, right? And they have a chance to dictate how many laps they run in practice based on what they do in the game, right? So if the opposing team gets an offensive rebound, that's one up and back. But if we get an offensive rebound, it'll erase that up and back away. It'll erase it, right? If we turn the ball over, that's one up and back. But if we get a steal, it'll erase that up and back. See what I'm saying?
Right, yeah, I get it.
So we got a whole system that's set up like that. You know, so we focus on little things in the game, and we find little ways, things during the game to focus on. If we're up by 30, right, and the team has scored 4 points in the quarter, we say they better not score 8. Right, so we keep finding little things to keep them motivated in the game, and everything relates to the running that they do in practice.
Yeah, thank you, D Public Enemy, man. Like, that's what I'm trying to tell them. You're supposed to get your girls thinking they're going through like World War III, man. But this guy's talking about, hey guys, should we put it all together? You know, some Obama type of like practical.
Well, that's the way that we do, like, because look. You know, the motivation is great. Our girls already have internal motivation. That's why we've won 9 in a row. They are motivated. Right? We've got to work on the little things so that they develop as basketball players, because they still have, you know, they're young. They have some bad habits. One-handed passing.
I get
all
you
these
100%,
little things.
But I'm talking about game time.
Listen, all this rah. No. The rah. We have players that can rah the team. Us as coaches. Right. I'm not trying to give this big motivational speech so they break down in tears and now they come out and they're ready to boom. No, we're going to focus on the things that we got to do to win the game. We're going to focus on those. And if you don't do it, there's consequences.
There's nothing better than a coach with spit coming out of his mouth, screaming at us, getting you hyped up, that you look at that team over there that you might be in third place, they're in first place, but you know they ain't better than you. And he's cursing, he's calling them all type of names, and you want to take their heads off. That's what happened with me when I was when I used to play for Bonnie's baseball. Coach Smitty, rest in peace. And he used to get us, and he used to feed us like Swedish fish to, I don't know, I guess sugar.
Swedish fish, yeah. See, yeah, Swedish. He feeds you Swedish fish.
But he used to get us hyped.
But he get you hyped, though.
Like,
he get you hyped, but he's giving you Swedish fish.
I'm just saying, we went to the Federation one of the years. We were we were a good team. Like, yo, I understand. Look, they taught us the fundamentals. Fundamentals are 1,000% important. But on that game, when you're looking at the enemy across the ocean banks or whatever you want to call it, when you're looking at the enemy and he's on the beach and he has his gun turrets lined up at you, some World War II-ish, you need that adrenaline in you. I'm not.
Well, let me tell you, we're doing something.
Your coaching style works. We
are doing something right, and I have my times. Trust me, I have my times where I do little things. I do little things, right? Like, for example, I come to a huddle. I haven't done it with this team, but I've done it with other teams. I come to the huddle and say, "Listen, I just heard one of them talking." And they said, boom, 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 boom. And bam, that's it. They're like, oh, for real? That's what they think. Go out there and bang. And I'd be lying. But, you know, happens that way.
Oh, look, hey, good luck.
It's working.
Man,
it's working with them. It's working with them. We'll see if it's going to lead us to the championship game.
I hope so, man. But that, put like this. And that's the last thing I say. I know you got to go to people. That team that you play, the first place team that you play with the 20 points or whatever. Oh, this I got. Oh, my bad, y'all. Let me. Can you hear me, Sim?
Yeah.
Just saying my mic is a little bit too loud. Sorry about that, guys. The 20-point game, the first place team. Sometimes you're gonna need that, because sometimes you might look on the across the pond and see that other team. And you're just like, damn, they beat us by 20 points.
Let me tell you something though. Look,
how are we gonna get over
they're
this?
not gonna look across at the other team. They're not gonna look across at them.
I'm not saying coaching style's not working. I'm just saying.
No. But listen, they're not looking across. They're not looking across at them and thinking.
No, you're like that dude from UNLV. The coach from UNLV used to bite the towel. Very laid back. What the hell is this guy's name? I think he was like Turkish or something like that.
Well, I'm not really laid back in the game at all. You know, you can hear me yelling across. You can hear me yelling across the hallway. I'm not laid back at all, to tell you the truth. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I mean, I yell a lot. Trust me, I yell a whole lot. You know what I mean? It's just, doing the motivational thing is a little bit different. I don't think Guillermo can even hear me right now. I don't know what's going on. I see him talking and whatever's going on. Go ahead, Nate, because I'm about to. Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, man. It's hard. It's hard. Like as a coach, when I coach kids, it's hard for me to just sit down and just be calm.
Oh, trust me, I'm
always
not
coaching every aspect of what they do.
Trust me, I'm never sitting down. Well, as the assistant coach, I am, but I stand up a lot. I've had plenty of times where they've told me you can only have 2 coaches stand up. I mean, because I'm yelling and hollering a lot. I do a lot, and I'm screaming in play. I come with a whole big thing of breath mints because I'm screaming in players' face.
You probably sound like Doc Rivers after the game.
I do. But the whole just trying to, give them this big rah-rah speech. That's not what I do. It's more about, here's what we got to do to win the game. Here's the technical.
And this as a coach, there's always teaching points in a game. Even when you do good things, there's always something that you can correct or something that you want to point out, whether it's a rotation or something like that, or a missed assignment, or a didn't block out or something like that. There's always teaching points. So, I'm with you, man. I'm the same way. I mean, like I yell encouragement, but I also yell just to kind of like make sure they understand, like, hey, this is where you need to be. This is the position you need to be, all this stuff. So, it's just hard for me to sit there and just like watch it. I'm not that Phil Jackson.
I can't. I can't. I mean, and you guys don't, I'm sure you don't know, but like I have a really loud voice. When I'm coaching, I have a loud voice. And when I raise my voice, it'll resonate throughout the whole gym. You know what I'm saying? I have a pretty loud voice. Sure. And I'm the type of coach, like I call your name out. If I think you're over dribbling, I don't say we're over dribbling. I say you are over dribbling. And I don't care. But anyway, I got to get out of here, man, because it's real late. We could talk about this any other time. I know, some of you guys are probably like, come on, man, y'all got to get it going tonight. Y'all got to, it's late. So, yeah, I'm going to get out of here. And I thank you guys for listening to me ramble on about high school basketball and stuff like that, But I'm out, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you tomorrow. I'm going to try to get on tomorrow so I can do a game preview. I appreciate all you guys. And be peaceful, man. I'm pretty sure we still got a lot of stuff to talk about coming up in the next few weeks. A lot of stuff to talk about. Oh, and guess what? It's that time. Really start covering the draft. It's that time to really start covering the draft. So we're going to get into a lot of draft talk. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. Peace.
That's the jig.